Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want to get into. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel now. As y'all know, Russell Westbrook has easily been the most criticized NBA player over the last year and a half. Ever since Russell Westbrook decided to join the Lakers, it ended up being kind of a downward spiral, especially from a PR perspective. No one was blamed more for the shortcomings of that Los Angeles Lakers team than Russell Westbrook. The situation got so bad that it got to the point where people were up there on TV discussing whether or not this guy would be in the league in the near future. This was an actual conversation people were having. Is he going to be good enough to go and be in the basketball anymore? What team would want him? There were stories out there of reports out there, by Dave McMenamin, basically saying that people within the Lakers organization were referring to him as a vampire, a blood-sucking vampire. It got that. Slanderous things were being said about Russell Westbrook on television. And no one really sat back and took the time to really scrutinize the roster and realize, wait a minute, this is a bad fit. The pieces don't fit well together, but nevertheless, they still blamed him to no end. So what happened? Ultimately, they got to the trade deadline. The Lakers were able to make some, which probably looks like now, some potentially championship moves. And they traded Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz. Shortly after that, the Utah Jazz bought him out. Right? Bought him out. And he was still the laughing stock. Look, this team doesn't even want him. They bought him out. And it really goes to show you the power of media. How even NBA fans lose all of their ability to think. And even some organizations, they really listen to people in media like as if, well, these guys must be saying what's real. And they don't even do their own due diligence. Well, apparently one team did. And that team was the Los Angeles Clippers, which is helmed by Steve Ballmer and general manager Lawrence Frank. They decided to bring Russell Westbrook in while Paul George lobbied for the organization to make that decision. And when that move was made, I was one of the very few people out there, one of the very few people that said it would work. Because some people felt as if, well, this trade is going to work only if Russell Westbrook comes off the bench. I said no. I said I did have my question marks, but I believed it was going to work. Now what happened? Within the first 20 games, I think the Clippers were 10-9 with Russell Westbrook in the lineup. Now, what a lot of people didn't realize, or rather factor in, was the fact that they were playing against some pretty damn good teams. They were playing against some pretty damn good teams, and they were trying to integrate a guy into a new system. No one took that into consideration. All of the experts said, no, this is a bad move. And one of the biggest ones, of course, was Skip Bayless, who predicted, by the way, in Game 3, Russell Westbrook was going to go out there, embarrass himself, expose himself in front of the world, and that's when things are going to fall apart. Those were Skip Bayless's words, the guy that gets paid $15 million a year to talk sports. That's what he said. Imagine being paid $15 million a year to talk nonsense. It's unbelievable. So that's what he said. So what happened? Russell Westbrook joins the Clippers, and somehow, some way, miraculously, starts playing well. After I told a lot of these jokers that you shouldn't be surprised if Russell Westbrook plays well because he's playing with a different set of players and he has more spacing. Nobody was talking about that. People are astonished. The only thing that has surprised me about Russell Westbrook's resurgence is his defense. I had never seen Russell Westbrook play this type of defense ever in his NBA career. Ever in his NBA career. And he's playing so well that some of his own contemporaries are even beginning to take notice. Kevin Durant said, people going to always criticize you when you're successful. Russ has been resilient his whole life. When he retires, people are really going to tell the truth about how they feel about his game. Right now, it's a fun thing to do is make a joke out of Russ. The way he has been playing shows you who he really is. Chris Paul, I feel like the only people that do that too is people who don't know basketball. Russ is one of my closest friends. But some people say, well, this is him defending his friends. Well, let's look at the numbers. Because in the last game that they lost, Russell Westbrook put up 37 points. Let me give you Russell Westbrook stats these playoffs. For the Clippers in 4 games, in 38 minutes, Russell Westbrook is scoring 26 points a game on 46% shooting from the field. That's the highest field goal shooting percentage he's shot since the 2009-2010 playoffs. Okay, he's shooting 40.9%, let's say 41%, 88.2% from the free throw line, getting you 7.5 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and 3.8 turnovers, while getting you 1.8 blocks and 1.5 steals. Those are the figures that Russell Westbrook is posting these playoffs. And what I think Russell Westbrook is doing is absolutely putting all of his critics to shame. He's putting them to shame. He is putting them to shame. No fool anywhere can sit up and say that Russell Westbrook is not balling. We had Skip Bayless, clown-ass Skip Bayless, saying that he would rather have Patrick Beverley. That at this point in time, Patrick Beverley's better. And you had some of these minions running around in the comment section talking about, oh, yeah, I can understand what Skip is saying. That's what they do. This is what they do. They just sit up there twerking it up in the comments, not listening to anything, just up there gyrating, twerking heavily while hating. But if you look at these numbers, this guy's playing exceptionally well for a guy that a lot of you jokers said should be out of the NBA. Look at him now. I was even reading some comments where some people are like, man, when the Clippers need to find a way to re-sign Russell Westbrook. And I'm like, why do you think people were saying that Russell Westbrook would not work with the Lakers? And all of a sudden he's working with the Clippers. It's not magic. He's playing with a cast of players that better complement his game. Everybody on the Clippers can shoot. Everybody. Name the player on the Clippers that can't shoot apart from Ivica Zubac, who's their big. Everybody can shoot. So if you give Russell Westbrook the ability to make plays and you give him shooters, you're going to see what you got. He still has his athleticism, and his defense is better than it has ever been in the past. And some people may be wondering, well, why is he playing defense so well? This is what happens when you're dealing with somebody that feels that they've been disrespected and slighted. This is what happens when you motivate people. That's why motivated people will always do better than people that are talented but not motivated. I'll repeat it once more. People that are motivated with less talent would always outperform people that are more talented but less motivated. Because now it's your spirit that's pushing you. It's no longer just your game. Westbrook is operating at a different level emotionally, dare I say, than anybody on the basketball court, including Kawhi, Devin Booker, anybody. Because he has a point to prove. So it's going to push him to go even further. This is the power of the human mind. This is the power. You can extract more from yourself when you ask more of yourself. And that's what you're seeing. And of course, the inverse of that, when you ask less of yourself, you do less. Hence telling players, hey man, you can only play 30 minutes a game, and that's all you see. But you look at an example like Russell Westbrook, who's older than Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, plays more minutes and them is never injured. We wonder why. Is it magic? Is it magic? Well, load management is supposed to be preserving players. So what's your explanation for Russell Westbrook? Oh, well, he's just durable. What is he? Is he made of bricks? Is he made of concrete? What's the answer? What is his bones made of steel? He's not Wolverine or nothing like that. I won't go off on a tangent into that. But Russell Westbrook is putting all of his haters to shame.